Good morning, good morning, good morning. Steve said, y'all gonna quit doing this to me. Yep. But we're gonna get into Steve Harvey later on in my entertainment news my way. Of course, over the weekend, didn't too much go on over the weekend, but I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday. We finally found out who was the butterfly. And the person behind the butterfly was Michell Williams, one of the members of Destiny Child. I ran across this show on Wednesday, the Masked Singer. I heard about the show, but basically I was kind of skeptical about the show just because there were where there is American Idol, The Voice, and all the other reality singing contest shows going on. But this particular one, especially this last Wednesday, really caught my attention. It caught my attention in a way that, of course, you know that Nick Cannon is basically the host of The Masked Singer. And of course, you know that Nick Cannon was also one of the hosts on American Got Talent. We're not going to really actually talk about that. But this particular show is very interesting. It is because the reason why it's very interesting is that it has a gimmick to itself, and the gimmick is that these talented people who have been around for quite some time, and we have icons basically coming to this show, is because it's different. It keeps your attention. At first, I was looking at it as another American Idol. I was looking at it as another Voice, where it is that on The Voice, the contestants basically win, but you don't really hear anything from them after they win. I mean, after they go through all of this rigmarole and all of this, you really don't hear anything coming from them. I haven't heard anything, or maybe I'm just out of the loop when it comes to these contestants that really appear on these reality singing contestant shows. But the Masked Singer is totally different. I'm kind of feeling it. At first I wasn't, but I'm kind of feeling it. And the reason why I think I'm going to continue on, I think this Tuesday they're going to be on two nights, Tuesday and Wednesday. And Wednesday is the night that they are really scheduled to come on, but they're going to do 2 nights of it. Now, when it first came on season last year, season 1, I don't think they thought that this was going to really stick around. But apparently it did. Nick Cannon and Robin Thicke, and who else is I remember Robin Thicke, and then we have two others hosts on two other panels that they basically try to guess who is basically in the disguise. Now, the reason why I wanted to come and talk about Michell Williams is that the background, the history of Michell Williams. Now, Michell Williams has basically been around for quite some time, and yes, she has been on Broadway. I think she has been on Broadway when she was a part. Excuse me, I have you guys know I have sinuses. Although my sinus is doing very well since I've had the sinusitis operation. We know that Michelle has basically been around for a while. And we also have seen Michell Williams played out on she and her ex-fiance, who was an ex-pastor. I think he was a pastor. I'm not quite sure. I could be wrong. Put it in the commentary if I am. Comment on a reality show. And we also saw her basically break up with her ex-fiance, and we also saw her have a meltdown. Now, when Michelle had her show, I kind of was in and out with it. It didn't really keep my attention, but in some sense it did keep my attention. But I just kind of was hoping that she would be able to find love. And in some sense she did find it, but in other sense she wasn't. And I love the background. I had no idea that Michelle decided to take a break. She went into hiatus. She went into her cocoon. And the fact that she chose the butterfly to basically disguise her. And I thought that was perfect. The reason why I thought that was perfect is because the butterfly comes out at a particular time and moment when it's ready to blossom, ready to reveal to the world. Because we've seen butterflies, and butterflies are beautiful and they are basically gorgeous. And I think this costume disguise that she chose was excellent for her. As she went on to do her performance, we could see, I had to binge watch to see each one of her progression as she came on to the show, because the show comes on Wednesday. And so I saw the progression that she made each time she had her performance. And I think there was about 12 season in this season, and she was able to make it all the way to not the final, but she was almost there. I think it might have been the finals or semifinals, I'm not quite sure, but she was able to make it all the way there. I think it was about maybe 3, there's the tree, and there's what is that, the thingamajig or whatever you call that tall looking thing, the thingamajig, and I thought that she did an excellent job. I thought, me personally, I think that I think that she could have made it all the way through. But I think what really basically gave her away is when she hit that high note. And we know that Michelle, those of you all who were followers and who are still followers of Michelle, knows that she has that high note. But when she went on to explain what was going on, and what was going on was that basically she was seriously battling depression. And depression is something that you have to be very, very careful with in terms of how you are handling your individual situation. And I think that the fact that she chose to step out, and she's been away from the public for about a year, and she chose the Masked Singer to come back and to come out of her cocoon and present herself to the world. I think that was perfect. Now, this show, The Mask, is basically a very good show. A lot of people didn't think that it was going to basically be around, and I think it will be around. I think they have enough icons, enough superstars, because some of the people on The Mask, I was basically stunned. When I binge watched it, I think it's the first season or the second season, I'm not quite sure, but Patti LaBelle was basically unmasked, and I kind of picked up on her at the very, very beginning because there was something about her. And then we also know that Gladys Knight. And so for this show called The Masked Singer, it's an excellent show. Now, we also know that, and unfortunately, we had another shooting. In this particular shooting, they are calling it a terrorist shooting. I'm not going to go too much into the shooting that took place, but I am wishing, I'm hoping that the family be able to get through this unfortunate, I don't know what's going on and why people, I'm just going to say mental illness is something that's really, really serious, and it really needs to be dealt with. The gun control basically really needs to basically be dealt with. And remember that 2020 is upon us. On another, 3 weeks and a half, we'll be into 2020. And remember that voting this in 2020 is crucial. It's very crucial. But needless to say, I'm not really here to, get on my squat box. But also, Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey says and told the world that Steve Harvey was the host of the Miss Universal pageant. And this year, the Miss Universal pageant, and the winner of the Miss Universal is a beautiful black, chocolate, educated, brilliant woman coming from, excuse me guys, coming from South Africa. Excuse me. I'm coming from South Africa. She won it, and I think that her two speeches, not speeches, but they had questions that they had to answer, and I think the way she carried herself and the way that she answered it was beautiful. And it is the fact that out of all of the contestants, and I looked at the whole complete Miss Universe. Uh, um, I thought that it was. I think that's the only contestant pageant that basically I really, really look at. And the reason why I look at it is because of the basically the diversity that it has in it, and it shows the different diverse. But out of all of the ones that really struck my attention was Miss South Africa, and the young woman coming from, I'm thinking, I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to put a picture if I can find it, and you guys tell me. She's coming from Swiss. I don't know if she's coming from Switzerland. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, Miss South Africa struck me as they got it right, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And the fact that what struck out to me to her, it wasn't the fact that, oh yes, it was the fact that she was black. I mean, she was a gorgeous black woman. But it was the fact how she came out and how she presented herself in all of her natural glory. When I say her natural glory, she came out with her hair. Her hair was who, and she says her hair was who she was. She didn't have anything that was hanging down her back. She didn't, put a wig on or anything. She didn't have any extension to. She just basically came out as who she was, and I think that was a very good choice. Now, Steve Harvey. Now, Steve Harvey has been basically hosting the Miss Universe for 5 years. He started hosting, I think it was in 2015. And in 2015, we know that it was a blunder. They made a serious blunder on who was the 2015. I think it was between Colombia and I'm not quite sure. Well, Steve Harvey said, y'all gonna quit doing this to him. Steve Harvey was basically introducing, because in the various pageants and stuff like that, they have Miss Congeniality, and then they had contests as one as the best authentic coming from their country, and of course Steve Harvey was basically reading from the prompter, and this is when the woman, I think, I'm not quite sure, but I'll put a picture up there so y'all can see it. I think the woman was looking kind of like, she was like, well, why are you saying this and when it's not? In other words, the teleprompters again basically made a mistake, and Steve Harvey was like, y'all gonna stop doing this. He said, this is what it says on the prompter. He was like, I can read on the prompter, and but there was no blunder this time. They did not make a mistake as to who won the crown. But it was very, very funny that Steve Harvey says, y'all gonna quit doing this to me. Now, Steve Harvey has been basically doing this, I think, for about 5 years. He's good at it. And another extraordinary, I don't think it's extraordinary, but the pageant was basically coming live, and they bought it, and it was coming from Atlanta. Now we know that Tyler Perry is the only black man who has his own studio. And guess what? We saw what his studio was capable of doing. Now, we don't know exactly what went on behind the background or anything like that, but to know that the Miss Universe pageant for 2019, Tyler Perry is going to be a force to be reckoned with, because basically, if you all are paying attention, a lot is coming out of Tyler's studio. I had no idea that the Black Panther was basically filmed in Atlanta, which it was, and The Walking Dead, which it was. So Tyler Perry, boy, man, you got it going on. I think I'm gonna have to come and just kind of sort of take a look at this studio. It's almost, but anyway, congratulations to you, Tyler Perry. Keep doing your thing. Like you said, you going out here and making your own. You not, asking. And congratulations to Miss South Africa. This is Cheryl. See you next time. And you know my mantra: love is for everyone. The holiday is coming up. Be kind, be gentle, and share. Peace and love. Click. Show me. Click that you like this video. Become a subscriber. As you know, at first I didn't really want to show my numbers, but hey, be number 33. Subscribe. Yeah, I've been around, but hey, be number 33 by subscribing. Click, share, comment. Actually comment and actually watch. If you could watch at least 10 minutes of this video, you will be basically giving me some watch time. Until the next time, peace and love. And I'll see you on the next video.